Okay, Lesley, so you're going to tell us about the process that you've gone through in your final year of your degree and the influences, your starting off points for your studio project and the influences that have gone into that and the way that your process has changed through the period of working on it. Is that right?
That's right, yes. I started off drawing from memory and nothing was working. So I decided I maybe should just say I'm partially sighted, so everything I see is very distorted. So instead of drawing from memory, I decided to draw exactly what I saw. And to explain this process to other people, the top part of this is straight lines, and there's a cross somewhere in the middle. And when normal sighted people look at that, the lines should remain all straight. When I look at the cross, this is what I see. It's very distorted and it's all broken up. So I decided to work with that instead of trying to go against it. So that's when we got our eureka moment and I started drawing exactly what I saw.
But before that you said you were drawing from memory, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
I was trying to draw from still life and nothing was working because I couldn't actually see what I was really drawing. So then I was making it up in my head and drawing what I thought I should see rather than what I did see. Okay,
then you had the realisation you could actually work from where you were at yourself, what you were seeing yourself.
Yes, okay. Yeah. So then I got a lot more enthusiastic. I sort of knew where I was going then. So then I started looking at textures. And then from this print, I enlarged it to get lots of different lines.
Can I ask where these textures came from? These lines and it's like a cross hatching.
Oh, that's the cross hatching. That's sort of from there. The cross hatching of the centre.
That's interesting. So there's I hadn't realised that it's stitched. So some of the lines are actually stitches on top of the drawing. Okay. Yeah. Right, so you took some of those details?
Yes.
Right, okay.
And that's where these little figures have come from. Sorry, not little figures.
And these look like prints?
Yes, they're prints. There's an ink pad there, and then you get your little bit of paper, place it face down, draw on the back of it, and then when you turn it over, it gives this quite nice textural feel to it.
Okay. Oh yes. They're lovely. Okay.
So from there I did some enlargements. So from the enlargements I decided to do collage work, again using textural, 3D sort of to build up.
So your starting point was the actual textures, you were interested in the actual textures, and then from there the visual came from afterwards in a way.
Yes.
Yes, you started with the textures, okay. And in the same way, in that kind of ink blot way?
Yes.
Right, okay, excellent. Wow, that's lovely.
Well, I think that's book's finished. That just explains the starting point. And then on from the collages, I developed them more onto bigger pieces, again using a lot of texture. And abstract. It started to get very abstract now.
Okay. And again, but these are sort of details from the drawings
from the initial
drawings and then worked on top of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
wow, that's amazing.
This is a lighter collage, more newspapery, kind of things glued on and then worked over.
Yes. But I can see the same marks that we've
got
in
mark
the small
making,
ones.
yes,
yeah, the same.
emerging.
Yeah. How about this kind of almost like a spray effect?
Yes, that's with one of the old-fashioned, I don't know what you officially call them. You stick it in the ink bottle and then blow, and then it just gives you this.
Oh, it's like a spray paint
effect, yeah.
Okay.
And you've used bits of masking, a bit of stencil.
And do you see these as motifs that you would want to keep on using?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've used them in different ways throughout the project.
Right.
And now we're on to dry point etching.
Okay.
which you get a piece of steel sheet and you dry point etch into it, and then you put on your oil-based inks, rub it in, and then the bits you want to be paler you lift off,
Okay.
and the bits that you need to leave dark just leave it on. Then it goes through the roller press.
Okay. So what do you take it off with? What do you take the lighter bits off with? Is it a remove? Is it some kind of...
Tissue at first, and then for real fine pieces, a cotton bud.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. So you're sort of like drawing into it, but you're drawing into it with the light bits rather than the dark
Yes,
bits.
yeah.
Okay. And again, I can see the same marks.
The same marks,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can I stop a minute?
Yes.
Look quite different.
Now this is the same process, but I've collaged on top of it.
Okay. And you've used newspaper cut?
Newspaper cuttings. Tried to keep the papers again quite fine because I thought the dry point etching was quite fine anyway.
Okay, so you do the etching and then you put the print, the text on
On
afterwards?
top, yes.
Is there any... were the words important, or is it just the letters as a kind of decorative thing, or were the words and letters important in themselves?
There was a poem that we've got that I had bits of text running through it that related to this poem, called
Okay.
After a While.
Right. And was that important to you? Was the poem...
Yes, it is important. I've got it written up separately.
Okay. So you've taken words and letters from there, and
Yes.
so it has a kind of meaning for you.
For me,
Yes.
yes.
Right. Okay.
And then
Wow. That's
this,
amazing.
it looks as if we've gone on a different project, but I had to fulfil the fashion brief, which wanted me to make accessories, so I chose scarves. So
Right.
now I'm going on to, this is Nuno felting, where you have felt both sides and muslin in the middle.
Okay.
And the more you rub it, the more the wool comes out to the outside.
Right.
It's quite a
right.
lengthy process, and that took about 5-6 hours to do
Really?
that, all by hand, yeah.
Oh goodness me.
And it was twice as big.
Oh, I see. So it just
It all
shrinks down.
shrinks
It
down.
shrinks down.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So that would be a really intensive way of making a
Yes.
making a texture. It's quite unique though, isn't it? It's not. It's.
It is. I like the thing with this is we was going to do the scarves, but if you feel them, they're too thick,
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
and that's another sample. That's a little bit softer because we haven't Nuno felted that one. That's just a normal felt.
Right. But again, you've got these lines and things coming through again, the
Yes.
same marks. That is nice, isn't it? Oh, they'd be nice collars actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I did actually do one as a collar.
Okay. Yeah, yes. Yeah.
So because we found that medium too hard to work with because we needed something more pliable,
Oh, these are lovely.
we then went to the collage before,
Yes.
blew up some of the, that's
Yeah,
it,
yes, that
we went back to this one,
Yes.
we enlarged some of the areas, and then we printed onto cotton.
These are lovely designs. They remind me, I think I've said before, of like Chinese ink drawings.
Yes.
And, yeah, really nice, very loose.
So one of the other tutors said they looked like sort of 1950s tile.
Yes, as well, yes. They've got that feel, and the colours as well. So you keep going back into the details of things and taking out the details
Taking up
and working.
pieces that I like and then
Yeah.
rearranging them. And
Yes. So what technique did you use to create these designs?
the colour was put on by open screen stencil, where you just paint onto the stencil and then leave it to dry, and then you put it onto the fabric, push it through with a gel medium onto the fabric, and then the black lines were made by photo screened stencil.
Okay, yeah, that's great. And that's why there's not like an even match up, so some of the edges are, there's like, that
Yes.
gives it that looseness. It's two separate processes.
I did want it to look deliberately as if the lines didn't actually match to the
To the
colour. The colours.
Yeah, no, it's lovely. Very, very loose and light. Yeah, it's great. So you were starting to look at different materials that weren't quite as coarse as the and dense
As the felt.
as the felting.
Yes.
Okay. So we've got something quite different here.
This is the second half of my project. And for this half, we're still using distortion, but I wanted to look at Humber Street and the regeneration of it. Why I was interested in this was for the actual textures of the buildings, the peeling paint and the rust.
Okay. So you've worked on technique, and now in a way you're looking at the sort of subject matter in a way, your influences, yes. So do you know much about the fruit market? Is it a
No, I'm not from Hull, so I don't know a lot about it.
Okay.
I just know it was a flower and fruit market and it used to be thriving, and now it's, well, nothing's there really.
It's a sort of deserted bit of the city, yes, yeah.
It'd
But
be nice if they did regenerate it, because it's got lovely cobbledy streets and all these original signs are gorgeous.
Yes, I think there are plans to regenerate, but in the meantime you're looking at the textures and the patterns that you can get from this kind of urban decay, really, I suppose, isn't it?
A sort of urban decay, yes.
Yes, yeah.
So now I'll take you through the book. I'm looking at different textures.
You can really see the buildings there.
So we've got a lot of photos, a lot of close-ups of the bricks, and then I've gone on here to do the textures.
Oh, that's interesting. It's kind of coffee sprinkled onto wet paper, salt added. That's lovely. That really does give you the feeling of paint, when it gets damp and
crumbly.
Yeah, crumbly.
Yes.
That's lovely.
And there's some more, just experimenting with different mediums, really.
Yeah, hairspray, I see, plastic bags.
Yeah, that's wearing off a bit, that one. That will be better fixed with a PVA glue.
Okay.
Which I was just trying to get all the cracks and
Yes, they look crazing, that sort of...
Yes.
Yeah. Really nice.
And again, looking at the decaying buildings. And also I'm very interested in the structure.
So the structure coming through
and all the lines.
Wow, that's lovely. And the lichen, oh wow.
This is just little thumbnail sketches really of the lichen from the bricks there.
Okay.
A sort of a brass rubbing of some old rusty pieces of machinery.
Sorry, could I do that one? The one.
Yep.
So that?
Yeah, the one over the other side.
Oh, the picture, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow, the colours in that are
They're
amazing.
lovely, aren't they?
Gosh. And that's just the paint, the layers of paint.
Just layers of paint, yeah.
That's really nice. You can't tell what's wearing away and what's growing out of that one. It's interesting.
It looks as if it's had a few layers of paint on.
Yes, yes.
It's just the colours, the greens and the blues mixed with the rust.
Beautiful.
So here I've got a few little samples of emulsion printing.
Okay.
And it's worked better on the silk one than it has on the cotton. I think that was a little bit thick.
That's lovely. You're getting some of that colour in there, that one as well. That's a photograph. That's really nice. Okay, so now you're looking at sort of different materials.
Yes, and how you can emulate the different materials. That's just looking again at layers of peeling paint.
Okay.
And I think I did that by putting wax behind a lot of the layers and then just literally hand peeling them off.
Some really interesting marks and textures
Going
going
back
on
into a
there.
bit of collage again.
Yes. Wow.
I'm just looking again at the peeling paint and how you can cut bits up and make them into different patterns with stripes.
Okay. Oh, that's amazing. Is that from the fruit market too?
Yes.
Is that, yes. That's great.
Just a collage, that of the original photo.
These interesting add-on bits in the building that you've got there. Oh, wow.
Now we're looking at rust.
Okay.
I love that photo.
So are the colours still strong when you look for yourself? Are the colours still strong? Is it the structures that are the forms that are broken up, but the colours are still very strong?
It depends. These colours, there's no contrast to me, so that's from here looks just like a dull green.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that one opposite It's got
More contrast.
yes, more contrast.
Okay.
Another emulsion transfer. So now I'm bringing in some of the text.
Okay. Oh right. So you're bringing. Oh right. So you're taking some of the text from the old
From
buildings.
the old buildings, yeah.
Right. That's great. Love that. Colours in there.
At this stage I haven't necessarily got my colours worked out, but it wasn't important at this stage. It was more the form and the design that I'm looking at. Now sorry, I think that's a photo that we saw earlier, and I'm starting to abstract the actual photos now.
I like that. It's very dynamic and marks. Oh, wow.
And this, was it the lock gates?
Okay,
and
yes.
the Humber. So
And then you've taken those.
taken them and sprayed, yeah. Going back into collage again. And now I'm looking at, I'll work in colour for a while and then I'll go back to black and white to figure out the forms.
Okay. Yes, you can see that structure, that feeling of those roof structures, and then this kind of paint and
Yes,
texture. Yeah.
So that's all mark making techniques which I really enjoy doing.
Right.
Again, some more mark making. Collage built up in layers.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. With that one, you can see how lots of the ideas that you've had are sort of coming together. You know that we've already seen, and somehow they're coming together in this the newspaper prints and those
And the layers
strong,
and the crossing,
the
yes.
crossings. Yeah, they're all starting to come together. That's lovely. Sorry.
And we're coming to the end of this sketchbook.
So are these some of the things that you looked at? I can see.
Yes.
Yeah, Shirley Craven.
Shirley Craven,
Yeah.
she was at the Ferrens Art Gallery and she did huge prints. And I think she was from the 1950s.
Quite strong,
Very
weren't they?
strong,
Very
very
strong.
bold.
Yes.
I like to work, but I don't think it really influenced me that much, but it was nice to see her work. That one influenced me more than any of the others I
Okay.
saw, because I think it's because of the
The
the mark
marks.
making, yes.
Yeah.
Not
yes.
solid blocks of colour.
Yes, there's that sense of like the lots of different
A
textures
bit
and
distorted, and yes.
yes.
So I did like that one.
Okay,
So now we're going on more collage, mark making, and mixed media.
so you're still working at this stage. You're still working out what forms and what design is going to go on to
and the colours
final
aren't.
pieces.
They're still
You're still working on
still
the
working
colours.
on the colours. Now here we've gone into calligraphy,
Yes.
building up different textures and gluing things onto card, and then you put several layers of PVA glue onto them.
Okay.
And I'll just show you over the page first. You then put these images onto wet paper
Oh wow.
and put them through the printing press, and
Look at these amazing
they give
textures.
these really nice textures.
Gosh, they're beautiful. Really lovely. Yeah.
So these are actually from
Nice.
these.
These are nice in themselves, aren't they? And then you have
Yes.
this the process gives you those. Other
Yeah, yeah.
things. Yeah, they're lovely. Oh, this is nice. Is this paper?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's handmade paper with lots of different things trapped into them. I eventually used the paper experiment to print on.
Okay. But this was an early idea to sort of trap different things
Yes.
into the paper.
Yeah. I think these just there's thumbnail sketches there. And here we've gone on to, these are lino cut prints. That one is with the oil-based inks. This one is water-based inks, and that is actually onto some of my handmade paper.
Oh, okay, yes. Gosh, that's lovely. That's really lovely.
Now I've chosen the colours that I'm sticking with.
Okay. And and you've got these from that kind of rust and the
rusty,
strong,
yes.
the oranges that are coming out of the rust.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
They'd be nice framed up, wouldn't they? They'd be really nice on that paper. They're beautiful.
So I haven't got my finished. Oh, that's an earlier piece, I think.
And you're getting these strong sort of structural.
Yes,
Yeah.
we went actually more in the end with. We chose that one, which is the overlaid, that one, and the little. Not crisscross.
Yeah, check.
Check, yes. So I've lost all of the swirly whirly designs.
So it's more that geometric.
It's more the geometric,
yeah,
yes.
straight lines.
Yeah. So these are a few of the samples.
Oh wow.
This is Georgette Divoré. So if you hold it up to the light,
That's really lovely. That's got that same subtle feel as those white. Is it collagraphs?
yes, the collagraphs, yes.
That's lovely. Oh, really nice against skin as well. Be beautiful.
It would be nice as a blouse or a piece of
Yeah,
clothing.
if you dared. That's lovely. Wow.
That is the same process, but that is velvet Divoré.
Okay, can you explain the Divoré process?
You dye your fabric first.
And you've reproduced it in 3 different ways?
In 3 different ways on
Okay.
3 different fabrics. This is the velvet Divoré, and a paste is put onto it, it's silk screened, and then a paste is put onto it. And because the velvet is natural fabric, it eats away at the velvet, but because the back is a synthetic fabric, it doesn't eat away at that, so it gives that nice see-through effect. So this is exactly the same process, but this is on Georgette. That's silk Georgette. It's a lot more subtle, possibly because the colour is as well. And then this final sample is onto silk, and that's a discharge bleach process. So in my final exhibition, these are actually going to be 6 foot high. This one is going to be at the back because it's a more solid colour. And then that one is going to be, I think the Georgette's right at the front because the velvet's a denser pile. So those two, and they're all going to be staggered.
Okay, like that, so you can see through.
So you can see through them, but there'll be about a foot apart as well.
Okay, so the light will come
So
through.
the light should shine through them all.
And that's giving you that layering.
The layering again,
Textures,
so.
yeah, that's beautiful. Really nice.
Panels are, I'm going to have them on
Yeah, you can sort of.
on wooden plinths at the top and the bottom, so
Yeah.
they're stable.
They're stable, and also with light in between
And
them
there'll
as
be
well.
light in between.
Yeah, that was
that's
actually.
little, yeah.
You can sort of see the effect. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Sorry. Yeah.
So how do you envisage the final piece, Lesley?
Well, they're all going to be 6 foot 6 foot high, so I want them hanging from a wooden batten at the top and at the bottom to secure them. And the silk one is going to be at the back, and then I want these sort of about a foot apart and a little bit more to the left, so the sunlight shines through them, and again the same with that one. So hopefully when you walk into the exhibition space you can see through the first one to the second one to the back one.
Okay. And they'll be fixed. They'll be fixed at the top and the bottom, and
Yes,
they'll be, yeah.
with wooden pole to secure them, make them straight.
Okay. That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.